Body bags were horror lies.
Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to week 2 here on Body Bags. I am your host Moodz616 and thank you once again for joining us here. Alrighty, so right off the top here, I want to give a big shout out to NES Ruler 22, also known as Jeremy, for his 2 fill-in reviews this week. Yeah, so that's awesome, Jeremy, for filling in. And so if you haven't watched those reviews yet, go back and check out those reviews. He is one of our fill-in guys, so big shout out to Jeremy. Alrighty, so for week number 2, I was thinking to myself, I want to watch something I've never seen before. I've had this film in the collection for quite some time, and just never got around to watching it. And for people that know me, they know I'm a really big anthology fan, so I had to go with this one today. It's a Brett Piper film, and it's called Shock-O-Rama. Yeah, so getting into the plot of this one, it has a wraparound story, and it has 3 little short stories. So getting into the actual story of the film, it stars around Misty Mundy's character. She plays a character called Rebecca Raven. She's like a B-film star. And basically, she's kind of pissed off. She's kind of pissed off that she's being typecasted as the girl that just, all she does in her movies is take her clothes off. Obviously, for people that know Misty Mundy in reality, that's pretty much what she does. So it's kind of a joke on herself. But anyways, she's pissed off, and she brings, her complaints to the film executives and says, I want to be known, I want to be doing something else and stuff like that. They want none of it, and so the 2 film execs basically fire her, and because, yeah, they just want to get rid of her because they've had enough of her and whatnot. So basically now they're kind of strapped though, because they want to start reshooting this new movie that they're working on, but they don't have anybody to star in it, so they need someone to star in their film, which is going to be starting like on the following Monday. So basically this one kind of jumps around a little bit. Her story starts out right after, the wraparound story. She basically decides that, she's going to take some time away from acting, and she's going to go off to like this cabin in the woods kind of deal, and just, for some R&R kind of deal. So she basically goes out there, but then it cuts into like the second story. It starts off the second story where it is, these film execs are watching these kind of short films and stuff, and they're looking for someone to star in their film. So the first film starts out, it's about this, he's like an auto wrecker owner. He owns like this junkyard kind of deal, and this guy, he's got major money problems and stuff, and basically what happens is this alien spacecraft crash lands into his junkyard, and he gets this bright idea. He's like, oh yeah, shit, I can totally make some money on eBay out, selling this shit. So he fucking tries to lift up the spacecraft, not having any of it. It's like super heavy, and all of a sudden this little green alien jumps out at him and just basically starts a war with him. He gets in this shootout with this alien, and this alien like creates like this huge like fucking mechanical spider and shit, and he has like this big war. It's kind of silly, but anyways, that's the whole premise of the second story. And then the third one, and that one is called Mechanarachnia. And then the third story, actually no, and then it jumps into Misty Mundy's story, which is the second story, which is technically actually the first story because it started out and then it cuts into the second one. The structure is kind of confusing, but anyway, so it cuts into Misty Mundy's story. She's back in the cabin in the woods, and she's thinking to herself, she's like, I can do so much better with my life and shit like that. And she's in her bathtub, and she starts to shave her legs, and of course she cuts her leg with a razor, and the blood from her leg goes down the drain. And it's actually pretty cool how they develop this. The blood goes down the drain, and it basically resurrects the dead body of the house owner that they never found. He's like buried underneath the house, but anyways, the blood drips onto him, resurrects this zombie, and then she has this huge battle with this zombie and stuff like that. So that was actually pretty cool story. And then it goes into the third story. Once again, the film executives are still looking for a film to show, so the one guy pops in this tape of this short called "Lonely Are the Brain," and it's about this female mad doctor. She's basically doing brain experiments on these girls in this halfway house, and what it is she's basically kind of, you know, I don't know, like she's putting them under some kind of drug or whatever, and then she's attaching these brain things to her. And what she's doing is she's monitoring their dreams and stuff. I don't really want to take that one any further because I don't really want to give anything away because like they are short. So, but anyways, that's the premise of that. And then you got the wraparound story, which is Misty Monday, and she meets up with the record execs at the end of the film. So, very very cool anthology film. So my thoughts on this one. Now, if you're familiar with Brett Piper's films, you know what you're getting yourself into. Very low budget, especially, you know, it's very noticeable in the Mechanorachnia short, which was the second short, or technically the first short. I don't know. You know, he's got like really kind of cheesy like CG in there and stuff like that. But you know, it really does work though. It works for this type of film. The effects throughout the whole film are really kind of mid 90s feel, like late 80s, early 90s kind of feel. I don't know, it's weird. The effects just really fucking make me laugh, but it's fun. It's really fun and surprisingly kind of well acted too. Like the acting's decent in this. And all three stories were interesting. You know, I thought the structure was kind of different where it started out with Misty Monday's story, you know, going to the woods and then cutting into like the first story, which is technically the second story. And then her story, you know, finishing up in between the, you know, the first and third one. But I don't know, it was kind of an interesting structure to the film. I thought it was really cool. I really did like the wraparound story, you know, just, you know, with the record company, or with the film executive, I always say record company, with the film execs and stuff, and I thought it was really well done, you know. I mean, if you're into, you know, low budget anthologies and stuff, this is definitely one to pick up. I'm sure you can find this one for super cheap. And of course there's lots of boobs and butts in this film because, you know, Misty Monday's in it, and there's like, you know, the third story with all the sexy girls in the halfway house, so of course there's some nudity there, and, you know, some lesbian scenes, and it's just very fun and well done. It runs exactly how it should, about 90 minutes long. So, you know, you got three shorts and the wraparound story. There's actually, you know, some actual real story to the wraparound. So it's pretty cool, really well made. Really enjoyed this one. If I had to rate this one, I'd probably give it a solid like 6.5 to 7 out of 10. You know, it's nothing mind blowing. The effects are really cheesy but fun. It definitely has replay value. I'd definitely watch this one again. So yeah, Shock-O-Rama. This movie came out in 2005, I believe. 2005. So yeah. But yeah, anyways, I'm just kind of rambling on here. But yeah, Shock-O-Rama for week 2 here on Body Bags. I am your host, Moodz616. Thank you for watching and subscribing. Leave comments, and just remember, this is where horror lies.